Okay, so for our judges at the end, I'll ask for you, after we tally up the scores, for your team, now I'll say your names, Dr. Duffenbaugh. Eric's gonna be head judge or lead judge, so after you all do your individual scores, then he'll add them all up. For your team, it's Galen, he'll add them all up, then they'll let us know who wins. As far as the notepad and the pen or the pencil that you have, that's if you would like to take notes, to also give them constructive feedback, positive and or negative, whatever you think they can improve on if they were to do this again. Again, we don't censor language, and I think a student asked that because they have something that they need to address within the content. For your sheets, you have affirmative on one side, negative on one side. All right, Sydney is the moderator. Once again, thank you all. So at the end, you introduce yourselves, and we'll go from there. But Sydney, I'll let you take over.
Right. I'm Sydney, I'm a moderator, and we're going to flip for stance. Okay. So I'm going to ask one of you, Shanita, since you're team captain, Ebony, since you're on your own. We'll let Shanita call it first. I have an assigned 4 heads or tails, but you guys don't know which one it is. So when I flip it, call it. Okay?
Heads. Heads.
Okay. So Ebony, you weren't supposed to call. You called heads? You call tails? Okay, you're affirmative.
All right, so that means get your notes. Ebony for affirmative. Make sure you got your notes for negative. Okay. And don't forget.
Affirmative is first for 6 minutes max.
Today's discussion is America, One Nation. Resolved, America, one nation. What comes to mind when one hears America? Is it red, white, and blue? Land of the free, home of the brave? America, the Latin version of Amerigo, named after Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian voyager who explored the concept that Christopher Columbus set forth, that the land was part of a separate continent. According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the United States of America is a country in North America, the world's 3rd largest continent, bordering on the Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic Oceans. In 1507, Martin Waldseemüller, a German cartographer, created a map depicting the new continent, America. The map is known as America's birth certificate. America, one nation. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines a nation as a territorial division containing a body of people of one or more nationalities, and usually characterized by relatively large size. Independent status, a nation of vast size with a small population. America's area is 3,531,905 square miles. That is vast in size. In the year 1607, English settlers settled in our very own Jamestown, Virginia. The English settlers joined in with the Native Americans. They both shared traditions with each other, many of the traditions we use in modern day. Is America one nation? In 1619, the first Africans arrived in North America, in Jamestown, Virginia. Now, according to the Merriam-Webster definition, a nation contains a body of one or more nationalities. So America in 1619 was a nation. One nation occupied by many, vast land, large in quantity and quality. E pluribus unum, America's Great Seal, appointed by Congress on July 4th, 1776. The Latin translation for out of many one. Out of many nations, America is one nation. Abraham Lincoln said in 1863 that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. America continues to grow every year, every month, every week, every day, every hour, every minute. The expansion of America's population changed tremendously since 1607, when the English settlers first settled in Jamestown, Virginia, and the Africans arrived in 1619. According to the U.S. Census Bureau in 2017, the population was 325.7 million. If that number is not large or fast, there's a math challenge, maybe even a debate. America is one nation. America has paved the way for its citizens to live their dreams, practice their religious beliefs, gain an education, make a living, and have freedom of speech. America's military is one of the world's strongest superpowers. U.S. citizens willfully join the armed forces to protect the citizens and the country. America is the first nation to be established on the premise that sovereignty rests with its citizens. Sovereignty is defined as a supreme excellence, or an example of it. America is one nation based on the Webster's definition. Based on its American citizens, starting with the English settlers, Native Americans, and Africans joined together, have proved sovereignty as one nation, coming together to make America a great nation. One nation. America's 44th and first Black president, Barack Obama, said, "We are one people, all of us, pledging allegiance to the stars and stripes, all of us defending the United States of America." America is one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. America is and will always be one nation. As the red, white, and blue stars and stripes wave and sway at America's schools and federal buildings, that will remind all that America faces trials and tribulation, but America is and will always be one nation. Thank you.
Cross-examination by the negative. You have 3 minutes max.
This is America by Daniel Glover, aka Childish Gambino. Yes, it shows a lot of evidence about America. Shows negative experience about violence, racial, and discrimination. And the Bible says, "So I looked and saw a white horse, and its rider had a bow, and he was given a crown and rode out to conquer and defeat." Revelation chapter 6, section 2. Is it meaning we won the battle but we lost the war? Or is it just the necessary? And the video shows that the church choir got shot, which in reference to Charleston, South Carolina in 2015, 9 innocent people got shot by a man killed in Charleston church during the rehearsal. And from the very beginning of the video shows a gun position of Jim Crow, referenced by Yes Sir and Mr. Bone, showing that our stereotypes of slinging, using doubtful words, and inappropriate manner. And yes, it does lead to stereotypes. And also South America, and also the video shows Gora Gora dance, which is South African dance. It shows that the distraction of not knowing what's going on of the video.
Negative constructive, max 7 minutes.
America, one nation. How can we all be one nation if there's still racism in the world? There is gun violence. There is gun violence. There's racism. And more importantly, there is police shooting. I have a quote from Tupac saying, "Cops give a damn about a Negro. Pull the trigger, kill a Negro, he is a hero." Which means some cops are good law enforcement. Some cops are bad, which they are dishonored, harassment, and police brutality. Racism. Racism is a big one. Okay. How can we all just come together peacefully when there is still discrimination in this world? We are all one race. We all bleed the same blood. Racism. Back in the 1800s, the 1700s, when there was slavery. Gun violence. There is, every day when you turn on the TV, Channel 13 News, Wavy TV 10, there is a black man getting shot by a white police officer. In 2017, there was 39,773 people who have died from a gunshot. Slavery. Prison held black people every day are dying. Why is this? Black people can't even go to the store without getting, Black people can't even go to the store. They can't even walk down the streets. White male police officers are just riding around, having nothing else better to do. So they would just assume of taking an innocent black person's life. Why is this? Why is there so much racism in this world today? We have gotten better with the racism, but still, people are still getting treated wrong, and it's not fair. My grandpa, that I know, he told me the other day that one of his coworkers was a white male and he is still getting treated wrong. I have another quote from Martin Luther King. It says, "Ain't gonna let nobody turn us around." Which means to me that even though there's still bad people out there, there's still racism, there's still people getting treated wrong, you should never discriminate somebody based on what they are, what their race is, and what they might be doing or what they did. Nowadays, the police brutality, the gun violence, the police shooting, now is really getting out of hands. People should never have to experience this. Shouldn't have to bury an innocent black life, male or female life. Why? It does not matter where you come from, where you are going, but this police brutality, this gun violence has to stop, and it has to stop now. Racism. Yes, it might be getting better, but at the same time, it's still getting worse. Sorry. Schools. Even though they do not allow racism, people are still getting bullied because the color of their skin and their race. They are also getting bullied because they might be gay, transgender, bisexual, or lesbian, which is still not right. Even though schools are getting better with it, kids nowadays are still getting bullied because of it. Now, I would also like to say this. Schools might be getting better, but at the same time, they are still getting worse.
Cross-examination by affirmative. Max 3 minutes.
Okay. With all respect to my opponents, the question is, America, one nation. My opponents mentioned the Bible. The Bible was a tool used to encourage faith and belief in a better life. It helped to face trials and tribulations. America has moved forward in practicing religious beliefs. It gives the freedom to practice whatever your religion may be. Jim Crow laws, 1965, 2019 we are in. There's no more segregation. We are allowed to get our education together, whites, blacks, Asians, whatever nationality you are, you have the freedom and choice to join in with whatever race you want to join in with. Interracial dating, we've come a long way from 1965 and Jim Crow laws. Gun violence, the right to bear arms. Yes, there's gun violence. That's a choice, but there are not every person in this nation who has not faced an adversity or gun violence. It's a choice in how you choose to deal with gun violence. If you go out and shoot people, that's your choice. There's consequences for that. That's a nation, national-wide choice that you have to make a difference in people's lives. Tupac, yes, he did say that cops are bad. Not all cops are bad. Local news only reports what goes on in each city. But there's a nation out there that fights. There's a nation out there that cares. Just one person cannot be singled out for a whole nation. 9/11 brought us all together as a nation. We showed strength as an American nation. Childish Gambino in 2018 depicts something that happened years and years ago, and we've moved forward from that, and I think we are still moving forward.
Affirmative rebuttal, max 4 minutes. No, that's you, Ebony.
That's me.
Yes.
Nationalism is a loyalty and devotion to a nation. That is defined by Merriam-Webster Dictionary. The expansion of America and its population growing every day has made us a nation. Our vast lands that were once a wilderness have become a nation. On July 4th, 1776, we gained our independence. That made us a nation. The land that was thought to be uninhabited was inhabited. There were Native Americans, Africans, and now English settlers. We've joined together and made it a nation. Daniel Boone was an American pioneer, a frontiersman who was set to explore lands west of Virginia, which is now Kentucky. That land was occupied by the Shawnee Indians. The Revolutionary War and the Revolutionary War, the Civil War were fought for all of us to join in and become one. The Emancipation and Proclamation freed the slaves. That made America one nation. Dr. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech is heard, understood, and demonstrated. He said that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. All God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. I sing, land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is not a great nation, according to that, you are living in the wrong nation. We are one nation. We stand together as one. We bleed the same blood.
negative rebuttal, 6 minutes max.
Yes. My worthy opponent says it is a choice. Is it a choice for slavery? Is it a choice for being humiliated? Is it a choice for being brutality? Yes, we suffered a lot of drama with different people. And my worthy opponent says we work together. How can we work together when there's judgment involved about color of their skin, about gender, or what nation they live on? And Richard Nixon quoted, "The Cold War isn't thawing. It is burning with a deadly heat. Communism isn't sleeping. It is, as always, plotting, scheming, working, fighting." Everybody do have rights. But how can we develop to be civilized? Yes, we may not know how we learn from right from wrong, but it's the willing to learn our own mistakes. Yes, we work hard, we try hard, and we work smart. But as one nation, we're as individual, dependent. But do they respect others dependent? And the amendment, 13th Amendment, says United States Constitution abolish slavery and involuntary servitude except as punishment for crime. Well, there's a lot going on about police brutality. Yes, they've been work hard. Yes, they protect, they serve and protect, but do they have a right to humiliate by what skin they are, what color of skin they are, but they don't even focus on their abilities? And to top it off, police brutality is a lot of emotions. Social media went viral about the situation goes. And it shows a lot of evidence of gun shootings. Yes, people do choose to buy guns, but is it necessary to show off of how be retaliated of our stereotypes about our abilities, or is it just the unnecessary? And Kanye West said, we choose slavery. Everybody does not choose slavery. Yes, we're troubled, but we're trying to be humble nowadays. If we're one nation, how can we be civilized and work together as equal? How can we? Yes, there's a lot of scheming going on. And yes, you see people every day that are money hungry, smart, educated, lying, worthy, untrustworthy. There are a lot of emotions. When you think about it, it is a tough world in America. It is a tough world in America. And Richard Nixon quoted, "Defeat doesn't finish a man, quit does." A man is not finished when he's defeated. He finished when he quits. How do we quit? When people keep on judging, harassing, and criticize of people of their skin.
Affirmative rejoinder, 3 minutes max.
America is civilized. The Pledge of Allegiance was written in 1892 and is practiced today to show the patriotism and nationalism of our nation. Gun violence, police brutality, stereotypes are a small portion of America. Look at where America started and where we are now. If we were not a nation of one or more nationalities living together, the definition of a nation, you have to look at the definition of a nation and what it means. America is a nation. America is trying to build a wall to keep people out. The nation joining together is opposing it. Why? Because we are a nation joined together as one. We have accepted all of those oppositions and fought through them and conquered them, and we did it together. Racism was once prevalent in America's nation. We have grown so far from that. We have judges here today, black, white, students, black, white, joined together. We are a nation just in this classroom. A small population is what makes a nation. America, the population in 2017 was 325 million people. That is a vast nation. We are a nation. Please hear that.
Okay, so that concludes the debate. I'll let the judges do what they need to do. And then students, what I'm going to do is probably out of the box. I want you to grade yourself and be honest. Then I want you to grade your opponent. If you had a teammate, I would like you to grade them as well. If you do not have the graded rubric for the, how the grades are numbered, please refer to your syllabus. Did you bring your syllabus? Okay, no worries. What I'll do then, I will minimize the picture. And it's okay. I think I can pull it up from Blackboard. No worries. It's signing out. It did. Give me a second. be honest when you give grade to yourself, your teammates, or your opponents. I'm going to pull it up for you. I'm going to give you a note card. Sydney, can you pass out the note cards for them to give the grades? And put your name at the top so I know who's doing what. And then put your name of how you're grading your other opponent or your other teammate.
Do you want them one note card each?
Mm-hmm. Please. Think about your research, think about the arguments that you all presented.
So affirmative on one side.
You can just put on, because you're grading yourself, you're grading your opposing team as a collective group and individual. For Ebony would be 1. There we go. Grading scale. Have you got together yet for your school?
We're supposed to chat about it?
Well, we're going to figure out what number you have for your affirmative, what you have for your affirmative. 14, you want to add that? And then add a negative.
That's just how I do it.
That's fine. Yeah, Grant.
You
You give
understand.
constructive feedback.
Well,
So
I didn't put it in terms of constructive feedback. I just did it so I could keep track of what was going on.
Oh, okay.
Do you need
But I can get
I mean,
grading yourself?
I got it.
Okay. And then you'll get with Caitlin.
Or the ones that-
Yeah, I'll put a grade both sides. That's why I said she was talking by herself.
or
When we
the
start this year.
Do you want them to do letter grades for you?
I just need the number. I can figure out the letter. You can put the letter beside it if you would like.
What's the difference between cross-examination and rebuttal?
I was going to say.
I guess
The-
cross-examination could be like the specific point that
That's
they
what I was gonna
just
say.
made, and rebuttal is kind of like the big picture.
The big picture, because they were supposed to, any points that she made, he was supposed to come back and counter at the same time of presenting his own argument. And the rebuttal again is then, I guess, it's coming back to restate their position on that point. So I guess for the affirmative, she was making sure you knew it was one nation. For the negative, then they were making sure to say it's not one nation.
Right.
Add them together? Add them together? Yeah. Oh, okay.
See, the calculator came in handy.
I know. Matter of fact, they're always downstairs doing math. So James, again, when you need tutoring, well, Eric doesn't tutor. We're trying to get him to tutor for us, but Galen, and sooner or later he should be teaching. And that's the same thing, Ebony. Galen, you can come see downstairs for tutoring. So that's when I said we have great tutors. He is one of them. And the irony that I end up picking 2 people that enjoy math, but.
What's the weight?
No, go ahead, you can say.
Okay, so the negative team got a total of points of 41, and the affirmative team got a total of 60 points. So combined from all the judges. So the affirmative team won. Congratulations.
Yeah. All your prep paid off. Yes. I would like Galen while you're there, but also Eric, unless you want to have a quick seat. But can you let them know who you are, what you do, why you're in school, what's going on, and whatever you feel comfortable while we're still taping?
My name is Eric Reed. I am going to school for mechanical engineering. I'm planning on transferring to Old Dominion. I know Cy through the tutoring lab because I'm always there. This is a great help. All these guys help me out a lot. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. you know, looking forward to working with them in the future because they helped me out so much, and I had a good time participating with you guys. So thanks for having me, Si. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. And I'll let Galen go, I'll still present you. Really quick, the bracelets that I'm going to give each of you today are our class that I'm reading about KRS-One. We implemented the content because Shanita was doing Mona Lisa for her descriptive essay. She got on colors, and I said, oh, colors mean something in hip hop. So I said it wouldn't be fair if I give one student the content and not give you all the content. So every student, even Sydney, also got the content from KRS-One. We spoke about what colors and chakras. So to implement what we've learned this semester, and also tie to hip hop, we love your hip hop as well. It's a bracelet for you and it's a bracelet for you.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. I appreciate it.
All right, after, did you go, yeah, Caitlin? Go ahead.
No, so I'm Galen Venturi. I'm already at Old Dominion, and I'm double majoring in math and statistics. I'm probably going to go to grad school there as well. I work out in the training center with Si, and it's a great time. And please come if you guys need any help with math or anything. And thank you, Si, for allowing me to go and do this.
I thank you both for your time, and Galen sooner or later will be teaching, so just sooner or later. He also does our VPT workshops along with us, so usually him and I are double team. I do the English portion, he does the math portion. Thank you. You all are welcome to stay if you would like, or if you have other things to do, it's up to you, but if you want to know about our other two judges, you might as well.
Yeah.
Dr. Deffinbaugh, can you go next?
Sure, do you want me to go to the front?
Please do, please do. And then after we do the introductions, I'll ask for feedback if you had any feedback for individuals or the teams as well.
Okay. I am Dr. Stacy Deffinbaugh. I am an assistant professor of linguistics at Old Dominion University. I am Si's professor. Luckily, I get to have her in multiple classes.
Probably stress her out.
And
I said I probably stress you out. I know.
yeah, what else do you want to know? I've been in Old Dominion for 4 years now. Yeah. So.
Can you let them know where you are from?
That's a long story. I'm originally from southern Indiana. I spent time growing up in Memphis, Tennessee. I moved back to Indiana. I went to grad school in South Carolina. I lived in the mountains of North Carolina. I lived in New Mexico briefly. I went back to Indiana for my master's program. I lived in Romania for a year on Fulbright. I went to grad school in Illinois, and then I ended up here in Virginia Beach.
I'll have a bracelet for you as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, you guys did a great, amazing job, so thank you for that. My name's Stacy Lopez. I actually grew up with Si. We lived like a block away from each other and grew up as small children together. We're Kempsville brats, I should say.
They've heard about you and they've reported on you.
Yes.
That's why she looked at me. Because you're a VA legend. That's why. Yeah.
Yes, you are. Absolutely not.
You sure? They've heard about
that
you.
even?
What
is that even?
They've heard about you.
Anyway, so I had the privilege of traveling the world in my 20s, and I'm very grateful for that, and was able to be a part of an amazing nonprofit organization called From One Hand to Another. I'm the chief operating officer of that organization, and it's Pharrell's organization, so I had the opportunity I grew up with Pharrell. We grew up with Pharrell, and very good friends, and was able to travel the world with him when he just first started out. Then I got married and had kids, and then in the mix of all that, we started his nonprofit called From One Hand to Another. In the beginning, we were giving away school supplies to the Title I schools in Virginia Beach, which we still do. And that grew into doing summer camps for underserved students who are Title I who receive free and reduced lunch. Here locally in Virginia Beach or in the Tidewater area, and then we just expanded 2 years ago to different states, which we're so grateful for. We're touching over, I should say not touching, we're reserving, let me not say touching. We're serving over 1,700 kids in 7 different states. And so we're really happy, we're growing, always looking for summer help.
That's why I said do not block your blessings.
We have paid positions, we have unpaid positions, and so, yeah, that's me. So thank you for having me. I appreciate meeting all of you. Thank you.
Do you have any questions for her?
Hey.
Any questions?
Questions?
Okay. Do you know how to, Stacy, did you bring any business cards or
I
anything?
did, yeah.
Okay, you all might want, everyone in this room
Yeah,
would like to receive that. Like she said, you always can volunteer. I'm sure they always need people on the math and science side as well, because now it's STEAM.
It's STEAM.
Uh-huh.
It's still STEAM.
Um,
So we have some exciting news coming up that we'll be sharing at the end of summer in regards to some rebranding that we're doing, which I don't even think I've shared with you yet.
That's fine.
So we are still continuing with the summer camps. We're going to be going in a few different directions. And so, yeah, can't really share right now, but we will definitely be sharing at the end of summer. So STEAM right now, focus, but there's a lot of other things that we're going to focus on starting next year as well.
Okay, can you go ahead and make sure they get your card?
Yeah, of course.
Everyone, I'm sure would like one.
I only have 4.
Okay, so make sure the students get them, and then if you can get, Dr. Duckman, did you want one?
I'll be in touch with you.
Okay, so who else then would like the other one? If not, you all still can get the information from me, but okay. All right. Can you give them constructive feedback? Either one of the judges can speak at this time. Meanwhile, students, I have bracelets for you all.
I want to know the feedback, because I was like,
Look at the colors.
So pretty, thank you.
That's not yours, but this one, wait, no, this one is yours.
Thank you.
It's Tiger Eye. There's also this Tiger Eye. And Sydney, remember we talked about ebony and ivory? Well, I have the ivory one. Here you go. Anybody have any feedback for them? If you don't, that's fine. We can move on. And students, at the end, I will get your cards from you. Yes, no, maybe so?
I'll start. I think this is a really hard topic to debate, first of all. And so I think trying to find evidence to support either argument is really tricky. I liked how you started with definitions and you built on that consistently. I thought y'all's argument in terms of systemic discrimination, clearly, the thing that keeps us from having that united feeling, whether we're technically united or not.
Right.
But I think that was a real challenge, and you both found ways to work within this difficult topic where it's not like you can just read a lot of research to support your topic. And you picked that topic partly for that reason, maybe?
I did, but I gave them the content of, what did I give you? Star Spangled Banner, Pledge of Allegiance. There was one more thing, and then I said, don't forget, then I started implementing that Constitution.
Yeah.
I told them about 1619.
Yeah, you did.
I started implementing, and then throughout the semester, we had other things, and of course, hip hop and arts and stuff, so that's what they started integrating. I think that's fine.
And I thought the use of quotations was also really effective for both teams. I would say for the negative team, the reason I didn't score you quite as high was in the cross-examination and the rebuttal. I think there weren't a lot of specific things that you argued against, and there were opportunities where you could have
Slayed me. They could have hammered me.
Where you could have said specifically, here was your argument, here's why it's a flawed argument. There were some opportunities for that, and I think that was the area that probably, for me, was the difference in the points.
I will have to agree with you as well. For the negative team, if you could have quoted some statistics, I know you guys said that in 2017 there was 3,773 gunshots, but in comparison to what other years? Like, so just if you could explain the difference from what we've come from to where we are now, vice versa, I thought that would have been a great cross-contamination defense, I guess you could say. But you both did a great job. I think you both did a really, really good job. Keep it up.
I agree with
Yeah,
both.
they're pretty much up
Everything.
I think our scores were all probably, my guess is, pretty similar, and they weren't that far off. It's just when you times it by 4.
Right.
If you averaged it, you'd probably find they were closer than you thought.
The only thing I would recommend is watch when you go on to tangents, like when you did the cross-examination. You started out cross-examining what she told you, and you kind of fell into something else that wasn't necessarily
I'm going to
relevant
stop you. You see how when you write, you do the same thing? That's the reason why we do certain things for you to see.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's fine. But that was a perfect example verbally what Sydney's saying to you. Go ahead.
So just make sure you're paying attention to how you're organizing your thoughts when you're giving your speech. And I saw you guys making notes while she was speaking, make sure you refer back to your notes so that you're not going off on a tangent. You're not going this way or this way. You're not everywhere, and you're addressing what she's saying.
Okay.
So just make sure that you look out for that. It's the only thing I really noticed.
Okay, so when some of you came in, you were hearing actually Uncle Paul Freeman, and like I was telling some of you all before everything went down, I was looking for this content for since my mom passed. So for me to find it Thursday night, I sent it to Jantonio. I was like, what's taking him so long to get back to me? He was landing in Houston, Texas to go to Uncle Thomas's church anniversary, and then they're celebrating his birthday early because remember I told you he will be 100 years old this summer. So this is another VA legend, so when you want to report on VA legends, the Freeman family is extensive. Then Harvey Freeman, he was a conductor, I believe, of the, what did I say? It was, what did I say, opera? Because I was young when I went, and I went to sleep, unfortunately. But I ended up coming across this content, and I have been looking for it. So now I have some content that can help me on my family tree. Then I did a group text and sent you things that Jantonio had sent me, and I think Dr. Duffy seen it, Eric saw it, and Galen. I can show you two, Stacy, before you leave.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, since we're on this topic today, and for your research essays, I was going to go ahead and go downstairs, but I think this is probably in the theme of today, to work on our research essays. Ebony, your sign, Dr. Thomas Freeman, Shanita, you get Pharrell, remember that, don't forget there are a book or two on him, Amazon it. And then James, yes, you have Nat Turner. So we can look at this today, and like I said, our judge is more than welcome to stay after this, depending on the time frame, which I doubt, which will be next class, and we'll go downstairs. I'll show you how to format because we're switching over to APA. You all haven't done that, but that's okay. I'm giving you a tool for your toolbox. Also, this is something that you all can definitely keep and use later. It's Virginia Legends, but also Ms. Brown may want a copy, and so may now, not Dean Ryan, but Dr. Ryan. So anyway, this is 24 minutes. This probably will take us to the end of class. Like I said, our guests are more than welcome to stay.
Do you mind if I just say something really quick?
Sure,
Before I scoot, I just wanted to share you guys, I'm sure you guys have heard of something in the Water Festival coming. Okay, so it's amazing. It's going to be a great 3-day festival weekend at the oceanfront. Definitely prepare yourselves to have some traffic. You're going to be sitting in traffic for a little while until you can get to the shuttles because it's just really one way in, 2 ways out. But I wanted to share, most importantly, is that what's happening on main stage is going to be amazing with all the different artists they're bringing in, but we're also doing conversations. And it aligns with what you guys just talked about. Without me being able to share much, I just want to say, make sure, I don't know if you've downloaded the little app, the somethinginthewater.com, but it will give you updates on, and it'll inform you as to what's going on that weekend. But we're having a lot of conversations with just different people that are coming in to have these conversations in regards to education reform, racism, women's rights, voter registration. There's going to be lots going on. So it was just a perfect platform for me to share that with you guys, and just look for that, and hopefully you can be a part of that audience as well.
Thank you.
Very cool.
All right, thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for having.
No problem. Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and head back down.
That's fine.
Watch this video.
Okay. This is what's on here. Shape.
Okay.
Listen, this Viking's about to be almost 100.
Yeah.
No. Okay. That's why he's still
Me too. I'm tired, no bother. I'm tired now. And I'm doing this ready for bed, ready for bed, and I started doing 25. Now I'm to 40.
Very good. Very good.
Beautiful makeup.
I can't even continue. What I do, gonna go all the way Yeah.
Well, that's great.
And that's Jantonio's voice you hear.
Have you in the kitchen for a little bit?
Yeah.
Talk to you about colleagues.
Yeah.
Clarice or Clarice?
Let me look at this stuff.
Got it.
Yeah.
Maybe she needs Clarice. What if he said his name?
happens in all the years and all the interviews you all have both done, I bet you've never been interviewed together.
This is the first time. Oh, quite right.
This is just for the family. This is not for
So he
public
said.
broadcast. For legacy. That's all. That's great. Did you see that you made the paper today?
That was the center of our conversation at the table. We both saw it, yes.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. And that was from the release that Texas Southern put out that they.
You know, a reporter from the Houston Chronicle called me and talked to me about it. And as I read it, it was his presentation on the CSU. The CSU did put out something, but it wasn't the story that was in the Chronicle. This was in the Chronicle.
Oh, excellent.
And it was done from several points of view.
Mm-hmm.
The contributions that Houstonians had made. And there was a young lady in Houston
Right.
who worked at the museum
Right.
to put it together.
Right.
And I think he probably had a conversation with Dr. Alva Wadler because he quoted her in the article.
Okay, very nice. So how does it make you feel when you are included in something like that?
That doesn't make me feel good.
Either way.
I don't know.
Do you remember the first time you read a newspaper?
First time I was in
First time ever in any newspaper?
No, I don't remember so long ago. I imagine when I was a little boy. And I have not kept up with the pace of the article. It just appear. I mean, they're appearing all of the time,
Yes.
continuously.
Right. Now, Clarice, what are you doing?
She's been around her business trying to eat.
No, you seem like there was something like really big going on over this. I just was.
I'm trying, yeah, Carolina is friend or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was her Facebook presentation of or report of it, which the family is going crazy over. So Jasmine's responding. Charla also reposted that. Because when somebody puts something on Facebook, if you're their friend, you can take it and you can post it to your friends. So now all the Freemans are posted to their friends talking about their Uncle Thomas and our colors. Interesting how the world spreads information today.
Yeah.
Wow.
I messed up that reading and I think about.
Right.
And then we did the supper.
Right. How about that? How about not using the cell phone and not having to use a cell phone? And being able to go where you're going and use the phone there.
Exactly.
You see young people out today and they're looking at their phones while they're looking at each other.
Sometimes you wonder, do they know where they're going? I'm gonna hit them at any time.
Right. And distracted driving is happening a lot.
And that becomes normal to them.
Yes.
Hey, we can't remember. They invite you back.
Yes.
And people find it so strange when I say, I don't even own a cell phone.
Why?
They won't accept or they won't try to give it to you. This is a nuisance.
Right.
For me.
Okay. No,
But it's easier to look at the phone call
yes.
than to have some dot and punch this and punch the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when was the time that you left that message 7972?
How long
did you do?
That's what my man since that has been my number.
So you never, 7972? Oh, wow.
And I was in the administration building, when I was in the library, the education, first time in it's all been 7972.
Okay.
That's the number. I don't know how I got it, but I know that this is what I use.
So lovely announcement. 7972. That's great. Because it sounds like you're answering the phone. So you want to start talking,
Yeah, thank you.
What's that?
Thank you.
What's that?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's that? Was that? Yeah, thank you for calling. Exactly. So I could explain you Paul again. Yes.
She weak.
That's great. So I could what you end up doing today?
What have I been doing?
Yeah, what did you end up doing today?
I have been very busy today, but you would not be able to see
Mm-hmm.
because it was cabinets and drawers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's the irritating thing about being a housewife. You work all day.
Right.
I mean, you really work.
Right.
And people can walk in and think, what has that lady been doing today,
Right.
other than just sitting
Right.
around?
Because everything looks so nice to them, they'll realize somebody had to make it nice.
Well, the thing about it is, I did some work here in the pantry,
Mm-hmm.
and under the sink.
Mm-hmm.
I cleared that out, you
Right.
lay down and
Right.
and whatnot.
Right.
Did a drawer,
Mm-hmm.
and then went upstairs and did quite a bit of stuff up there.
Right.
But if, you know, you would think that, I just, from the looks of things, anything.
So now, how does it make you feel when you always see Uncle Thomas getting recognized in the paper? Is that kind of like good for the household, or how does it make you feel?
That's his work.
Mm-hmm. Because like being the first lady is an interesting position.
And I never think,
You don't think it that way?
I find it amusing, you know,
Mhm.
if somebody refers to me as first lady.
Right.
I never even think about it, you know.
Right. Well, you're just more humble on that front. You're not.
No, it's just that, I'm me,
Mm-hmm.
very here
Mm-hmm.
with me,
Mm-hmm.
and, I don't know, I might be teasing me, it says, make a comment about being wind beneath his wing.
Right. Right.
But, not really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What, Uncle Thomas, what do you like most about Aunt Clarice? You must know her better than anyone has ever known anyone. You all have known each other how long? Because how long did you know each other before marriage?
10 years.
We met back in 42.
42? Okay.
I'm married at 53.
The married at 53, right? That's 10 years, right? Wow.
But it wasn't close up 10 years. You
Mm-hmm. Right, it was no love.
We were
Acquaintance.
not in the same town and
Okay, okay.
occasionally see each other.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So what do you like the most about her?
Well, it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
The understanding and the recognition of the need for understanding
Mm-hmm.
and tolerance on the part of each of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And letting each be his or her own person.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, that's important. That's important.
Extremely important.
And you all have seen like the whole evolution of the Freeman family.
Mhm.
If you all could give a message to the Freeman that will come in the future behind all of us, because now we can keep this message forever. This is not like those photographs we were talking about that, you know, will fade or will be gone. This exact message can be given to everyone in the future. What message would you all both want future Freemans to realize about life?
That life really is what you make out of it. Now, you may bring some resources to life, but how you respond to those resources is of extreme importance. And the Freemans have a tradition of excellence. And so, as a Freeman, you strive to be outstanding. And you be outstanding not in terms of any special activity, but bringing to bear on whatever activity you are involved in a sense of meaning, value, and significance. I would say that each Freeman tries to be somebody.
Yes. Clarice, what would you add to the freedoms?
Gain mature.
I'll pause it. We got 5 minutes. I'll let it play out. But what I will do,
Oh, Clarice ain't playing around.
I know, but what I will do, I can forward you all this link if you would like to keep watching. It's the next class action. Go downstairs. If you need it probably.
I do.
Mhm. Eric, I can do the same since you stayed, but I'll let it play out. But just letting you know.
I said, gain maturity.
I'll come back to you. Maturity is key.
No, I know.
And unfortunately, not everyone has or
I'm
exhibits
just doing my job.
maturity.
And that maturity
My job is
has to be
untuck my shirt.
identified as age.
And then
Has nothing to do with it.
this.
It is primarily judgment and response.
What do you think I was doing?
Right.
What do you think I
The
was
grown
doing?
person that you are.
Right.
I can't leave yet.
Yeah, I've oftentimes said, people think that maturity comes just because you take trips around the sun. But it doesn't have anything to do with maturity. They're some of the oldest and most immature people. I was at, C's, high school function last night, and I could look at them, and they were like they were back in high school. I'm thinking, wow, these people are all my elder, but it's like people are people, and so really it has nothing to do with your age. It's just a number. It has all to do with you and your interactions with folks and how you treat people. Very interesting.
You keep the
I
grades.
also add that neither one of them should think that life is easy or that life has promised them anything. The opportunities that are afforded them may be coming to them in spite of themselves, not because of themselves. And because of these opportunities without necessarily their intervention, they have an obligation to take advantage of those opportunities. They could have come to someone else, and for them not to take advantage of them shows a sensitivity that they don't have and need in life. You cannot determine what is going to come in your pathway. You can only prepare yourself for what may come. But when something comes in your pathway, for which you may or may not have been prepared, and it provides an opportunity for you, then you should learn how to take advantage of that opportunity.
I like it. I like it. I like it. So, Clarice, what is a lesson you remember from one of your parents about life? That either they told you or that you learned from your interactions with them?
To respect everyone, no matter what. They're human. They're one of God's creations. And I know my mother used to always preach the golden rule.
Okay.
And forgiveness. That was another thing, love and forgiveness was, because literally, because we are representing the divine. We all have, that's what keeps us alive, that spark of divine in us. And therefore, you should follow this example that was set by Jesus Christ. And pay attention to his teachings, and you'll get along fine.
I like that. That's
People
good.
won't always like him.
Of course not. They didn't like him. So I'm not sure. I guess I was worried about grandma and grandpa. What were something that you remember?
And what she had just said.
Mm-hmm.
Their work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
The income of my father was sufficient to take care of the family. However, he insisted on everybody working.
I'll stop on that one. So I'll forward it to you, just so you'll have. It was cute how he said for the family. It was for the family to keep it for archives. But you see how I'm able to share it because he's done so. And again, he gave me the content I was able to give you or to show you, especially for you, to have. Like I said, do not block your blessings. What you're getting in this class, I would say, is the first, at least in Virginia and in our area, and how you're doing things. I will see you here on Wednesday. After that, we'll do a brief intro. We'll probably hear a song or two, you know how I like, maybe a poem. And then we'll go downstairs. I'm going to show you how to implement your APA format. Then from there, you all can start to type or find your sources. Do not forget you need at least one book. I suggest you get it on Amazon, and it comes within 2 days. And when you get it on Amazon, that'll be a book for your collection, your own collection. And after, I would suggest you read it cover to cover.
What does it do?
I would have to look again at the, well, I'll readdress that on Wednesday.
Okay. Because I probably won't be able to get the book until Friday when I get paid.
That's fine, that's fine. But you can at least have the other 4 sources that you need.
Thank you.
No problem, thank you all.
You guys need help putting this classroom back?
Oh, no, Eric, you're fine. We leave it just like this. Yes, thank
Make
you.
sure. Thank you, guys.